Hi everybody, welcome back to Quarantine Cooking with Carolyn. It's Easter Sunday. Happy Easter everybody. I thought just because we're in quarantine, I thought just to keep things a little bit normal, I would cook a ham today. So I'm going to get started right away, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what else is in the recipe. So what I've done here is I've chopped up one small to medium onion. And in the pan behind me, I have put a little bit of spray and about a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half of olive oil, and I've warmed it up. And I'm just going to get this onion started here. Okay, and what I'm looking to do is just get that soft. Okay, so we're just going to get it, yeah, there we go. Just kind of in a nice even layer. And then other things that you need. Now, of course, a ham. I'm using it's almost a 4-pound ham. And this is a boneless one. I like the boneless because you don't have that bone to deal with, and you get no waste or very little waste if at all. You will also need garlic, and this recipe calls for quite a bit of garlic, a bay leaf, and some fresh thyme or dried thyme if you have it, and a little bit, about a cup of chicken broth. I lost my words there for a second. Now you're thinking to yourself, Easter ham, where's the brown sugar? Where's the honey? Well, you see, my husband does not like sweet meats of any kind. So sweet and sour chicken, he would absolutely never in a million years order that at a Chinese restaurant. So the idea of a honey baked ham or a brown sugar glazed ham, let's face it, it would just disgust him. So I kind of did some tooling around and tried to find something that was a little bit more savory. Now, if you like that sweet ham, which I do, you can glaze this ham as well. And I will try to remember to tell you where the glaze comes in. So let's take a look at our onions and see how they're doing. All right, so our onions are in a good place. They are just kind of a little bit soft. And I am going to put in about 2 tablespoons of this nice chopped garlic. And I talked about this nice chopped garlic before. I don't chop garlic cloves anymore, very, very rarely. Just because that is so convenient and so much easier. My husband always wonders how I can get dinner on the table so fast, and sometimes it's just knowing the tips and tricks to use. So this is going to cook for about 2 more minutes. So in the meantime, while that's happening, we'll talk a little bit about the ham. So what I've done is I've taken the ham, and I've taken another onion, or maybe even a half of an onion, and I've just sliced it into rings or slices, and I've put the ham on top of this. Now, as I said before, this is about a 4-pound ham. It's just a little under 4 pounds. And even for the 2 of us, that'll be great, because not only will we get a nice meal out of it this afternoon or this evening, but we will definitely have a lot of ham sandwiches coming. You'll use it in omelets. I guarantee you I'll probably be making scalloped potatoes and ham in a casserole later in the week. So don't be put off by making more than you think you need with the ham, because you'll find ways to use it. Okay, so let's go back to the pan here. And I'm thinking this is pretty good. You certainly don't want to brown or burn the garlic. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my fresh thyme, and I'm going to toss that in. And we're going to take this over here, and I am going to leave the flame on because we're going to come back to that in just a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour that right over the ham, just like that. And then we're going to come back over here and we're going to add a little bit of broth, about 1/4 of that cup. And all you're trying to do is really just scrape up that little bit of brown. If you noticed in the pan, when I put the pan back down, there was just a little bit of brown, and you're just picking up that color and flavor, really. So now I'm going to turn that off. And that's called deglazing. But you don't need to know that. That's not a big deal. And then we're going to pour this over the ham as well. Okay, let's put this down. All right. And then the rest of the chicken broth, just like that. Okay. Now, we're going to put this in a 275-degree oven for about 35 minutes, I think, for this smaller ham. You're going to do about 12 minutes or so per pound. And then we are going to cover this with a little bit of aluminum foil. So I'm just going to reach over here and grab that. It's out of the way. There we go. Oops. You know what? I don't think there we go. Now you want to cover this fairly tightly, like that. And I'm going to use another piece here. And like I said, this is going to go in the oven for about 35 or so minutes. And I'm going to use a thermometer on this and get it to about, oh, and I forgot my bay leaf. I'm going to stick my bay leaf in there. That's okay. We'll just pop it in there. That's fine. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab my thermometer as soon as I get this on here. Okay. All right, there we go. And, okay. And in we go. And I'm going to, now what you want is an internal temperature of about 125 to 140. So we're going to put this in. Oops, let me move this for just a second. And you'll also notice that I'm clumsy. That I've also taken out the other rack in my oven and put this on the bottom. Now this is going to go in, as I said, for probably about 35 minutes. And then after 35 minutes, I'm going to, thank you, thing. After 35 minutes or so, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to uncover it. And I'm going to put it back in. Again, you're looking for an internal temperature of about 125 to 140. These hams are already cooked, so you don't have to worry about getting, them being uncooked or anything like that. So we're going to set this, I'm going to set this for the proper temperature, and then we're going to come back and we're going to see what it looks like. Okay. So our ham is ready to come out of the oven, and I want to correct something that I said earlier. In practice, it actually took a lot longer to get the ham to where I thought I could take the aluminum foil off. It actually took about 40 or so minutes at that point, and then I took the aluminum foil off, and it was another 30 or 35 minutes to where I could get it to the full temperature of about 140 degrees. I will have the correct temperatures in the recipe at the end of the video, so be sure to look for that, and either take a screenshot or pause the video so that you can get the whole recipe, because we only put it up for about 20 seconds or so. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this ham out of the oven and you can see what it looks like. All right, here, let me just pull this out. And this looks pretty good. Look at that. I mean, that looks yummy and delicious. Now, if you wanted to glaze this ham, you would do that at the point you take the aluminum foil off. If you want to add your honey glaze or your brown sugar glaze, that's when you would do that. So even though we couldn't be together this Easter with family, with friends, at least we can have a somewhat normal Easter ham dinner. So give this a try, guys. I know you've got this.